Hello, this is Veronica Campbell with Integrated Manual Physical Therapy. I'm going to be showing a exercise that's to sort of really help engage your core. So it's an exercise to do before you even do your abdominal exercises. The idea is to get your deep pelvic floor, deep abdominal muscles to be turned on and engaged so that everything you do in life becomes an ab exercise. This is modified from the Institute of Physical Art, so this is where I learned it. This is my version of it. I'm going to give you a few modifications. Please make sure this is intended for patients of IMPT. If you're not a patient, consult with your physical therapist or physician first before starting new exercise. So the idea behind this exercise is a principle of irradiation. So we're going to be doing a long, gentle hold to get some of the muscle fibers to fire, and then as they fatigue, the next layer, and as they fatigue, the next layer, and as they fatigue, the next layer. So you're getting to deeper and deeper layers of the core that maybe you never really use. And so as you're going through this exercise, you might feel shaking, and that's part of your core waking up. And then you know you're done when the shaking sort of simmers down. So I usually tell patients, try to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. That's an arbitrary number. It could be 17 seconds, it could be 57 seconds that take for your core to kick in. So I'm going to go through this so you can see it, and then I'll show a couple other levels, but the first level is a really critical one. I do this every morning when I wake up to really make sure that my deep core is woken up, and so that I'm safer as I function through the day. So you're going to want to be lying down. I'm going to show the towel as a modification if you cannot get into the position. So actually I'll put that on that side so you can see. So what you want to be doing as you're lying down is be able to get your knees as close to your chest as possible. So it's always nice to give yourself a hug and kind of see your starting point. The idea is to keep your knees as close to your chest as possible. I don't want you at 90-90. That creates a hip flexor contracture issue where you're firing your hip flexors too much, contracting I should say. So you want to be at least past that point. If you can't get to here without help, that's where a rolled up towel, varying thicknesses, can be put underneath to kind of act like a little kickstand to help you stay there, especially when you're first starting this. Okay, so if you need that, you can use that to stay there. You don't have to have it, so you can take it away if you don't need it. Your toes are up, knees are up, hands on the top surface of your thighs, head is neutral. And so what you're trying to do is curl up and press your hands into your knees and your knees into your hands. So it's an isometric. And so you can hear in my voice a little bit that I'm starting to shake. And so as I'm here, I like to look towards my toes to make sure I'm in flexion. You can lift your head. If that's too hard, leave your head down. But make sure you're not extending your head, that you keep your chin tucked. So the full position is this sort of tiny little cannonball. So I call it the cannonball. Once you're there, you try to lift your tail a little bit more and hold. And so the idea is to hold this and hold and hold and hold. And as you shake, once the shaking simmers down and becomes less and less and less, then you know you're done. So there my shimmering, shaking, whatever you want to call it, is lightening up. And then I'm done. And so that engages the deep core. Once you've been able to do this for a few weeks and you feel like your core really kicks in, you can do a little bit more advanced where you curl up and then cross your arms so that you're getting a little bit more, not just your deep core, your transverse abdominis, but also your obliques. And I like to do it with my right hand on top, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, and then I might switch and do my left hand on top for 20 to 30 seconds. But I always like to go back to that neutral and finish and kind of really lift up and hold. If you have a lot of pelvic floor issues, you can also add a little bit of a Kegel, tightening your pelvic floor. But you don't need to do that. Simply holding is the idea. Keep in mind, pushing harder is not better, it's the duration. I'd rather have you hold at really light pressure for 60 seconds than 10 seconds hard. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at imptaz.com. Thanks.